We lay down the cardboard in the aisles as a weed barrier, but also because earthworms love cardboard, so we want to do everything we can to attract the earthworms to the garden. I found this place, an older place in the garden where we had laid down cardboard before. Didn't get the tape off well right here, but look under the cardboard. And earthworms are right under. As soon as you pull up the cardboard, there's earthworms everywhere. And over here in this area of the garden beside where we had cardboard more recently, you can see all this earthworm activity. All these little squigglies, all these little mounds, earthworms. So it's a big reason we lay down. Also for the weed protection, but it encourages earthworms too. Bags, and we are putting down layers in the garden. We already took several boxes and cut them into strips, and we're putting them down between the plants. And then we'll go over this we collected, when our morning walk this morning, people have started mowing grass, and there's one place that saves their grass for us in bags. We went and picked those up, so we'll lay down our grass clippings on top of the cardboard. And then we've also gotten some pine straw from the co-op, because no one is selling hay right now. Well, no one here is selling hay right now, they're out. So we bought pine straw, so we're going to put down our cardboard, go on top of that with grass clippings, and then go over that with pine straw and make sure this garden is well covered. Okay, so these are the grass clippings we picked up from the person who bags them up for us. So we're going to cover our cardboard that we laid down with these grass clippings. How many bags do we get? About 7? About 7 bags. So we're going to go through with this and just cover up our cardboard. And we'll come back and show you what that looks like when we're done. Okay, we went through and we covered all the cardboard we laid out with our grass clippings, and now we are going to go back and cover all of this, or as much as we can, with the pine straw that we bought at the co-op. Okay, we've got everything mulched now, and you can see we used several different types of mulch. That's middle few rows with the lighter color that you can see. We did that with the grass clippings we picked up this morning. The rest over here, we used some pine straw. Over here, we had mulched the area with some pine bark mulch. So we just like to try to keep everything covered as much as possible. What it's covered with isn't as important as it just being covered. So we have some areas that we covered with chopped leaves. Anything we can get our hands on is what we mulch with. And I wanted to give you a quick update on what we have growing right now. And I'll just start right here. This is our strawberry bed. And you can see, first of all, look how beautiful. There's just a million blooms. And there were more blooms than this just a little while ago. And everywhere, let's see, we've got strawberries hanging like crazy. None anywhere near turning yet, but strawberries everywhere and still more blooms. So I hope this is going to translate into a really good strawberry harvest this year. Little berries everywhere. So this is our strawberry bed. Okay, this is one bed of our candy onions. These 2 rows right here are the white candy onions, and then these 2 rows are the red candy onions. And we ordered the onion sets, and when they came in, the red candy onions were a little bit smaller than the white, and as they've grown, the white seem like they're maturing a little bit quicker. We've never grown the red ones before, but it definitely looks like the white ones are maturing quicker and getting bigger, more robust, but they're both really healthy and pretty looking. Okay, over in this corner of the yard, this is our pear tree, and it's full of blooms and just starting to put out some leaves. And under the pear tree, we have some black-seeded Simpson lettuce over here, and then this is our patch of garlic, and it's looking fairly healthy, seems to be doing well. Then around this little area where the pear tree, this is our plum tree, and it is finished blooming and it's putting out leaves, and we haven't found any little plums yet, but I'm definitely keeping my eyes open looking for those, because this is the lower limbs that I could reach are the ones I hand pollinated earlier this year. Under our plum tree, we have our rosemary, and then over there is some oregano. And these are our walking onions, our multiplying onions, and they are doing really well. This next week I'm going to try to get out here and harvest some of these and chop them up and put them in the freezer, and then just let them put back out. Okay, Over in this side of the garden, I'll take you through everything we have planted over here. These are snow peas. These are Oregon giant snow peas we have planted on this side of the fence. And on this side, we're probably either going to plant some lettuces or possibly some bush green beans. Haven't decided yet. This row is spinach. Down at the end of the spinach row, walk over here. We have spinach all the way down here. And at the end of this spinach row, we have some black-seeded Simpson planted from seed. And I don't see it coming up yet. Over here beside the spinach, we have, let me explain this row, this is kind of fun. In this row, we have flats. We planted plants in flats for our earlier fall garden, and then after we transplanted out what we had for our fall garden, we just took the flats and dumped the dirt in our compost pile of what didn't come up or what was left. And these plants volunteered in our compost pile, so we're not real sure what's in here. We think it's some collards or some broccoli or a mixture of both. So we have some surprise plants at the beginning of this row. And then at the end of this row, we planted some turnips from seed. So here on down to the green, this is turnips, and they haven't come up yet. Okay, this row is Brunswick cabbage. This row, all the way down, is Denali cauliflower. This row, we have Hilton Chinese cabbage, or Napa cabbage. And this row, all the way down, is snowball cauliflower. And this row is red Russian kale. And it's just starting to put on. At the ends, the closest to me, these two rows, these are two different types of just a good lettuce mix. And then on down, on this side, we have the red candy onions. And then the onions down there on the right side, those are the white candy onions. And again, the white seem to be a little bit taller, a little bit more robust, coming on a little a little faster than the red onions. Okay, in this area, in this pine bark mulch area, this is some of our lettuce. This is red romaine lettuce. And then we circle around the patio over here. This is Lola Rosa lettuce. And we planted all this lettuce from seed and flats and then transplanted it out. And it honestly sat for a while, and it's just now starting to grow and get pretty. So hopefully we'll be able to have some salads soon. Okay, and these are some broccoli plants in the pine straw here. These broccoli plants, this is green magic broccoli. Hopefully we'll get us some spring broccoli out of this. This raised bed, these are white candy onions. And then over to the right in the lower bed, those are the red candy onions. Again, they're all doing well, but the white ones are just a little bit bigger, a little bit thicker, look just a little further along than the red. And we set all these out at the same time, but the white, they're all doing well. They look good, but the white are just a little bit bigger. And it may be the variety too, I don't know. These are buckets on either side of the candy, or the onion beds, are carrots. And these are the Danvers half-long carrots. And they are doing pretty well. We've pulled up a couple just to see how they were doing, and they're long and straight and pretty. They're not real big yet, but they look nice. So hopefully have a nice carrot crop this year. Okay, and here's two little short rows of greens that we just kind of planted as an afterthought during the winter, and they have done great over here in this area under this big oak tree. And these are Southern Giant curled mustards, and these are Florida broadleaf mustards. And these have been, those are good. They have a real pungent taste. That I like them, but I really, really like these. These are sweet and smooth and really yummy, yummy grains. And one thing we have noticed is these are trying to bolt a lot faster than the others. They're wanting to already bolt and go to seed. These we haven't noticed bolting at all. So they look like they're about, I just can't imagine they have much more life in them. So the upcoming weeks, I'm going to go ahead and cut all these and can them, and then we're going to plant something else, possibly some more of these mustards, because they've been really, really good.